It's something a lot of people have started to mention, the idea and the hope that when we do return, a lot of fights might be easier to make. And of course, looking towards that heavyweight division, a potential undisputed fight there between Fury and Joshua. Do you think it is realistic that with what's going on now, we may well see some type of deal arranged or agreed, and maybe AJ's fight with Pulev put on the back burner and Fury's trilogy fight with Wilder put on the back burner? Do you think it's realistic we could see the two of Fury AJ clash because of what's going on?
Possibly. It's very hard for a fight of that magnitude to be spoken about at the minute, just because of the delay with the mass gatherings. That fight certainly can't be done behind closed doors. It can't. So we don't know when this lockdown for those sort of events will be lifted, and we can see something like that. I would love to see it. It's the fight I most want to see, Fury AJ, for all the marbles, pretty much. It's it's tough. One thing, funny enough, I guess I've covered all bases in boxing. I know pretty much everything that goes on, but the politics side of things, sort of, I'm still a little bit green, and it's all a little bit alien to me still. So who knows what actually goes on? I couldn't tell you. So fingers crossed there isn't any stumbling blocks, and something like that can happen sooner rather than later.
Before we move away from it, if or when we do see that fight, who wins?
I mean, I lean towards Fury just because of. I'll give you a reason as well. I'm not 100%. AJ has the ability to be able to beat Tyson Fury, no doubt about it. He's so athletic, he can punch. When he can stick to a game plan really well. I think we see that against Parker and against Ruiz in the return. I just have to look at the Wilder fight though for Fury, the second one, because we know how elusive and how good Fury is on the back foot. As a heavyweight, probably one of the best. He is the best. But there was always question marks whether he was a big enough puncher. He could use that 19-stone frame on the front foot and really put a dent in a fighter. And he did that against arguably the biggest puncher in world boxing with ease, to be fair. So when I look at the two fighters, I think Fury has more ways of winning. I think he could knock AJ out, stop AJ, and I think he could win on the back foot. I look at AJ and I probably would pick Fury to beat him on points. So it's 2-1. Simple really. So I fancy Fury would be the favourite right now, but wouldn't be surprised if AJ was to beat him.
Over social media, Anthony Fowler and Fowler-Davis having little back and forths. What have you made of their interactions, if you've seen it?
Not seen a great deal of it. I've seen a couple of tweets back and forth from the two of them. I think that's boredom kicking in. You not only do you as a fighter want to get in the ring and compete, but being involved in that bit of buzz, that little bit of argy-bargy, I think fighters miss it, and both can be fiery characters. Both nice guys, to be honest. And I think you could both say the two most misunderstood fighters out there. Fowler-Davis puts on this big show, but he's all right. He's actually all right. He's harmless. Anthony Fowler, his confidence can come across as arrogant sometimes, but he's a top bloke. I'd watch it. I'd watch it. Will it be made? I'm not sure. Yeah, like I said, I'd tune in.
Another fight which was discussed is Terence Crawford and Kell Brook. How do you fancy Kell's chances if he was to face Terence?
He's up against it. He'd be well up against it. But I'd love to see the fight. I'm a fan of British boxing. I'm a fan of Kell. And trust me, I know Kell's as frustrated as anyone that some of the big fights haven't happened for him. I know he really wants another big one. And look, Kel on his day can be a nightmare, can't he? He can whack. So there's no reason why he couldn't cause a massive upset. But Crawford's special. He really is good. I don't have him pound for pound number one. I'll probably go Lomachenko, then Crawford, and then possibly Fury. Yeah, but yeah, you couldn't say Kel's got zero chance, could you? Do you know what I mean? It's a tools race at the end of the day. Anyone out there saying, "Oh, you're mad, Kel can never win," well, he has got a glimmer of hope. You couldn't say he's got no hope whatsoever. So yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd even contemplate going out to that if it was in the States.
How do you rate the welterweight division? Who would you see as your number one in that division?
Well, him.
Crawford.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, the other names being either Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to go with Crawford. Crawford, don't get me wrong, they're three terrific fighters. But Crawford for me is special. I think he's the best switch hitter I've seen in a long time.
I interviewed somebody yesterday who I know you're a fan of, but you wasn't in agreement with his last result against John Ryder. I spoke to Callum Smith. Obviously, Callum was one of the names being mentioned to face Canelo. The bout was agreed with Billy Joe, and then obviously all of this happened and everything's been put on hold. With that in mind, who do you think you'd like to see Callum get in with next, apart from John Ryder, in a rematch?
Well, it would be Canelo, whether he gets it. That's who I would like to see him in with. But it's never going to happen. But I know you said I can't say it, but it would be the John Ryder fight. I think he won the fight. You know what I mean? I think he won the fight. But I've seen a lot of people get really angry and upset about it. But it's sport at the end of the day. So everyone has their own opinion. Whether I'm mates with John Ryder or not, you know, I like to think I'm friends with all the Smiths. They're a great family. I've got so much respect for them. Their story's phenomenal. But I still think John won the fight. It doesn't mean I'm sticking my fingers up at the Smiths and you know, I just think John Ryder won the fight, and I would love to see it again. People have said, "Do you think it was a bad Callum Smith?" Yeah, I think Callum Smith can fight better, but I certainly think John Ryder can fight better. I do. I think there certainly would have been nerves in the John Ryder camp beforehand. You know, you're fighting this guy who's destroying everyone. You're going to be nervous and you may be a bit tentative at the start. And I think the confidence that John Ryder would take from that first fight would be massive going into a return. But it's not going to happen, I don't think, which is a shame. But I would love to see it again. It was very entertaining. I really enjoyed it.
What plans or what discussions, firstly, have you had with John about what he wants to do next? Is he just kind of focusing on a possible Smith rematch? What's his kind of...
You know what? He wouldn't say it, but I can tell he's proud of himself, you know? And so he should be, because he wasn't given a chance against Callum. And he just wants the biggest fight possible now. You know, he's not put any pressure on himself. He's not one to go mad and say, "Oh, you know, it's a disgrace. I'll be fighting again." You know, I think he'll be searching for the biggest fight out there. I think he deserves to be a world champion. So if there is a chance of getting a crack against somebody, if any of these titles get vacated or blah, 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 it'd be great to see him in there with someone. So he has the opportunity once again to try and become a world champion. And obviously you've got to remember the money side of things as well. I think he deserves a massive payday as well after that.
And the final fight I wanted to get your thoughts on is Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Luis Ortiz. Andy Ruiz came out saying that he'd like to try and train with Canelo and Eddie Reynoso. If that was to happen, he wanted a warm-up fight, then look towards an Ortiz fight. How do you think about between the pair of them would play out?
I'm not blown away with it, if I'm deadly honest. You know, it's the 20+ stone man versus the 50-year-old. You know what I mean? So I'm not. Like I said, I'll watch any fight. I love boxing, but it's not a fight that I'm like, wow. You know, if Dillian White couldn't get a fight against Fury or blah blah blah, I'd be more inclined to see Ruiz White. You know, I'm a supporter of our guys, so I prefer to see that.
Well, Darren, we will leave that there then, and I will leave you to enjoy the rest of your life in lockdown until I do catch up with you soon. Before I let you go, what would you like to say to everybody who does tune in and watch this interview?
I would say I hope you're well. I hope you're staying safe. Again, going back to that positivity thing, just imagine how great it's going to be when this is all over. We can all share a beer together for those who drink. We can all go to the pub. We can go to restaurants. We can go to shows. We can embrace. We can enjoy our freedom, I guess. Not getting too OTT over the top of it, but you know, I hope everyone is staying safe. And yeah, God bless you all. All the best.
Brilliantly put, Darren. And once again, thanks, Beats Boxing Social.
Pleasure. All the best, mate.